Hello, everyone. This is my Competency 3 presentation. At the end, I will also be showing my group protocol sheet, but let's go ahead and get started. So, for my Competency 3, I chose to do a group about stress management. So, I called it Don't Stress, You Can Manage It. And it meets on Mondays and Wednesdays on floor 2, room 200, for a duration of 6 weeks. The group is 45 minutes long and begins at 10 a.m. So it will end promptly at 10:45. The assessment I would use to see if the clients of the facility would qualify to be in this stress management group would be the COPM, the Canadian Occupational Performance Measure. This would really help determine how much stress is going on in their life, if they're happy and fulfilled with their life, and so on. So I think utilizing, the COPM would be very beneficial for these populations. The group membership for this group would consist of clients currently admitted to Appalachian Community Behavior Clinic, and they can be any age, gender, or race. The diagnosis that they have would require to be any mental health diagnosis listed in the DSM 5. And as this is a stress management group, members must deal with daily symptoms of a form of stress. For the IADL, the domain that I would be in would be health management, which the OTPF and AOTA defines as activities related to developing, managing, and maintaining health and wellness routines, including self management with the goal of improving or maintaining health to support participation in other occupations. And the subdomain would be social and emotional health promotion and maintenance, identifying personal strengths and assets, managing emotions, expressing needs effectively, seeking occupations and social engagement to support health and wellness, developing self identity, making choices to improve quality of life in participation. So that's my subdomain and domain for stress management, and all of that is from the OTPF by AOTA. The group intervention approach that I would use for occupation and activities would be that clients would implement learned stress management skills to the problems they face in daily life by the end of 6 weeks. They would engage in many preparatory methods and tasks. Um, they would go outside for the first 10 minutes of our group to feel grounded and get natural endorphins from the sunlight, of course, weather permitting. They would design and create the weekly activities I pre planned, and every session would end with them writing in journals each week to end the group and document how they were all feeling. And then I included this photo of stress balls that we would make 1 week. So, the group intervention approach to education and training, these are kind of just the goals for my group, that they would provide knowledge of stress management techniques, develop knowledge of breathing techniques, the importance of grounding, the importance of visualization, provide knowledge on journaling techniques, stress ball creation, utilization, behavior modification, and just how to deal with stress in daily life. And not only would I educate them, I would educate their caregivers on that as well. And having that advocacy piece is very critical as well, to empower clients to deal with stress properly in their daily lives, especially if they're having a mental health diagnosis. They would need to know how to handle stress well and healthy in the day to day, as well as empower clients to encourage family and friends to engage in stress management and advocate for stress management courses in mental health spaces. So, the description of my group intervention is that the OT would begin the session by thanking members for participation, reviewing the goals and agenda, reviewing behavioral expectations, answering member questions about the group, and making sure everyone was ready before we got started. As I stated previously, they would go outside for the first 10 minutes to feel grounded and get natural endorphins from the sunlight. And then each week we would do a different main activity. So, um, in the first week, we would design and create stress balls to utilize and squeeze when they're feeling overwhelmed. This is something that I've done in fieldwork as well, and it's worked out really well. Clients have really enjoyed it. The second week, we would create a vision board to help with visualization. If you visualize your goals, you can get help manage your stress, and that's kind of the photo that I've included here is the vision board I would have the clients create. Right, week 3, we would write all of our worries down and throw them away. This is also something that I used, about mindfulness in fieldwork, but it, of course, also addresses, stress management, and by writing everything down and then having that symbolic thing of throwing it away, is very helpful for mindfulness as well as stress management. For week 4, we would learn meditation and yoga techniques to help us feel grounded and as a way to relax. Week 5, gardening. A bunch of research recently has said that gardening is very effective for stress management. It's an occupation that many people enjoy, so I would implement that. And then for our last week, we would do acts of kindness around the clinic. Just random acts of kindness, whether that be holding doors open for people, holding car doors, umbrellas if it was raining, just kind of random acts of kindness because nothing makes you feel less stressed than, you know, bringing other people up. And as I said previously, we would write in journals each week to end the group and document how everyone's feeling. And after journal writing, I would end the session with reviewing our goals, providing feedback, reviewing the content that I had provided, and then providing certificates of attendance, thanking them for participation, and any plans to follow up. Of course, if it was the last week, I would not be planning to follow up, but that's kind of how I would end my session. And again, I just kind of put here the procedures that I would use in a step by step list. So I won't go over that again because you guys have heard me say that already, but it's kind of in a step to step list there. So the supplies and materials I would use in the first week, I would need balloons, beads, flour, cooking flour, and everyone would need their journal. That's actually on here every week. Week 2, I would need magazines, scissors, glue, poster board, markers, computer and printer access, and for the third week, they would need markers, paper, trash can. Um, the fourth week would be yoga mats, loose clothing, and journals. The fifth week would be soil, plants, a planter, shovel, gloves, and their journal as well. And week 6 would be flowers, candy, loose clothing, just anything for kind of like random acts of kindness. So then I kind of did my OT evaluation with my impressions and reflections, saying that the clients really enjoyed these stress management interventions and they came into the group feeling extremely stressed about daily life and not knowing how to manage it. It was causing an occupational imbalance in their life and they needed to learn new techniques to help. Only 2 clients stopped coming about midway through the group because they were discharged during our group. And just kind of a summary, OT is needed in mental health and is extremely beneficial in stress management. And the clients that were in this group left the group knowing new techniques to manage stress. So, what worked, journaling was extremely beneficial for clients managing stress because they were able to visualize and write down their thoughts and realize that some stresses were valid and some were irrational. They enjoyed the grounding each day and getting to spend time outside. And their favorite intervention was the random acts of kindness because they were able to help people with chores, give out flowers from our garden, give out candy, and just hold doors open for people. So